Hello. This is a special presentation of Stage Explorations, and we are here talking about theater and also promoting our production Day After Day. Chrissy, when did you first fall in love with theater, music, and musicals?
When I was born. No, just a joke. That's the story you always tell.
Right.
I came out with the top hat, kicking and everything. But truthfully, when I was very, very, very young, you started me watching your wide collection of musicals and taking me to musicals. I was pretty much raised on them, the same as eating breakfast or dinner or lunch. Musicals was in there. And I just happened to latch on to it, and I loved it with all my heart. So.
Yeah. And you started when you were 6 performing in these musicals.
Yes. That
Yes.
might be, I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you answering the question now?
Yeah, and this next question for us is why is theater and musicals important to go see and important to you?
Well, it's important to go see, first of all, because you'll never see anything like it. Emotion, and there's nothing like live theater, getting those actual emotions coming right there and then on the spot. But also, if you stop going to see theater, theater will go away, and that will be very sad. So support theater, go see theater. You'll have a wonderful time 9.5 times out of 10, and that's a big plus. And you'll also keep theater alive, and that should never go away.
Right. And keep in mind, being live theater, it's the only chance you'll get to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Once the show has stopped its run, unless there's a videotape down of it, you'll never see it again.
Right.
Great performances have been lost. Okay, how did you start working on Day After Day production, and why did you have to create the Day After Day production? I guess that's my question, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a huge fan of Doris Day since, God, I think when I was 9 or 10. And I respected her choices of music and movies that she made. And as that went on, I got to meet her and spend a week with her in Connecticut filming a movie called It Happened to Jane. And that was just it. We corresponded back and forth. And Chrissy grew up with her music and was singing all her songs. And as she started getting a little older, I said, I'd love to do a story about Doris Day, but not an expose as many of these bios turn out to be. I wanted it to be a special musical exploiting the fact that her talents were what they were. And it was important to me to get people to see Doris Day. She was very underrated, yet she was the #1 star for 20 years, and 5 of the years #1 at the box office. And believe it or not, this record has not been broken today. So I thought it would be nice to let people learn a little about her career and hear her music.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about Day After Day's story and the character story arch.
The Day After Day story. Well, you just kind of said that. It's kind of a love letter to Doris Day, and it starts when she's young. It actually starts when she's older, and then it flashes back and talks a little bit about her life throughout the run of the show. In the big band era up to the movies that she did, and so much music that you will leave there going, I didn't even know that was Doris Day's song, or that she sang that, because so much music, wonderful songs. And do you have anything to add to that about the story?
Yeah, even though she had kind of a rough life, she married 4 times and had a husband who embezzled all her money and many, many different tragic things, but we brush over these very quickly. This show is to show what a strong woman she was. She never became a victim. And also, the most important thing is her love for the animals. This is a woman who technically gave up her career to take care of the many, many animals who were being mistreated.
Yes.
What about the music in Day After Day?
Oh, I just kind of said that. The music is unbelievable. There's 52 songs, something like that. You'll love all the music. There's not one song you would go, this is the downtime. It's up, up, up all the way, even with the ballads. Just gorgeous music by so many incredible writers. She was around in a time when I think music was at its best, and you are absolutely going to love these songs, whether you remember them from your past or whether you're hearing them for the first time.
And the different styles are amazing because, as she said, she went through the big band era, and then from there she was kind of doing small work with jazz combos. So there's a lot of her jazz career. And then when she went into the movies, she was singing actual show tunes. In The Pajama Game, she's belting out a Broadway score. So I think she did every kind of music.
Versatile.
Very versatile, yeah. Okay, tell me about the whole Day After Day creative team and actors. Well, that includes us.
Creative team and actors?
Yes. We are actually co-directing this show. This is weird working with my daughter co-directing. We actually played these roles for many, many years,
20-something years ago.
Yes. And this is the first time we're kind of letting the show go to these wonderful actors. The vocally and acting-wise, tell the truth. They are, I have to admit, even better than us. So that's hard. But I wrote the show, and my daughter's husband, David Cohen, is the musical director. He arranged all the music for the show, and the two actors, which already did an interview, Deborah and Zach, are capturing the characters. She is Doris Day. If you close your eyes and listen to her sing, and he technically is playing me because the show is about my infatuation for the lady, and through me, you kind of get the excitement that she's giving the world in this performance. Is there an underlining message of Day After Day?
Yes. Que sera, sera. Stop looking at the downside of things. Doris Day always chose to look at the bright side of things. She didn't let anything keep her down. And you're going to find out in this show there were some things that could have taken her down. But she always said, you bounce right back up. Life is for living and to be happy. And that's all she wanted, was to be happy. And she achieved that.
And she even compared herself to one of those blow-up dolls with the round bottoms. Yeah, that you could punch and it go back down and come up. That was her, exactly comparing what she was like. She was, as again, never a victim. What do you want the audience to get out of Day After Day? What do we want them to see?
I would say that same experience. First of all, falling in love with Doris Day.
Exactly.
Really falling in love with her. But the reason you do fall in love with her is because she shows everybody the way you should live your life. Happy, joy. There's so many wonderful things in life, and to harp on the negative is just not good. And that's the message you get from Doris herself and from this show.
Yeah. And why must the Southern California community come to see Day After Day? I think they should come to see it because it's a terrific show, a terrific subject, and one that's not done quite often, if at all, really. Yeah, usually there are cabaret shows that'll feature Doris Day's music that are wonderful because every song in her catalog is a well-known piece of music, whether it be a standard or some of her new stuff. It seems like most people think Doris Day is just que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. You're going to be shocked to see the jazz standards and some of the great pieces of music she introduced.
Also, another reason that Southern California should come and see this show, really come and see this show, because this show is being put on by the P3 Theater Company, which is a brand new theater company. And it's very hard to get a theater company up and running these days. As I spoke about earlier about live theater, we don't want it to go away. And when somebody puts in that effort to really get shows up and running so we can all see and enjoy them and keep that live theater alive, it's important to come out and really support that theater so that they can keep going and keep bringing you wonderful shows.
And not only that, P3 just finished with two great productions, Evita, which Chrissy starred in.
Time of my life.
Very successful play, and also Steel Magnolias. And I think it's very brave of them to actually choose to mount this project, being a new project and a new concept Although it's theater style, it's very much can't be described in a sense of what it is. It's a book show, but it's presented in a very different style that you only would have to come because it's so difficult to explain. Don't you think? Yeah.
Agreed.
And again, we thank P3 and John Peterson. It's yeah, for giving us this opportunity to do this show.
Friend John Peterson.
Yes. And from the day after team and stage explorations, mark your calendar for the day after day production. And thanks for watching. And please come and see it. You won't be sorry you did. See you at the theater.